Britannia.
Olympic champion, John Currie, Großbritannien.
World champion, John Currie, Great Britain. John Currie, Storbritannien.
At the age of 7, I took him to see Aladdin on Ice, and he wanted skates for his birthday. So I bought him the skates, and from then on we used to take him twice a week, or I had, just as a hobby, and he was very interested and always wanted to skate a bit more than anybody else.
This little boy was to become, 19 years later, the first Englishman to be the figure skating champion of Europe, of the Olympics and of the world, and all within 50 days. It began when he was 7 on an ice rink in Birmingham.
At the ice rink there was a list of teachers sort of printed on the wall, and my mother chose the one that wasn't the most expensive and wasn't the least expensive. And he happened to be a man, Ken Vickers, who was very, very interested and concerned with style of skating. And I often think that had I been to another teacher, the whole thing might have been very different, because my teacher insisted that I learn to skate properly before anything else, and I could skate properly before I could do any of the jumps or turns or spins. It's really the foundation of my style, and therefore really the foundation of the success I've met. I would, always recommend anybody who wants to do a sport to get absolutely the best advice they can right at the beginning. It's another thing that people say is, they can start off with a sort of makeshift situation, and later when they're a little better we'll move them up and we'll put them in a much better teacher and everything else. I don't agree with that. I think that the most important teachers are the very first ones. The essence of skating is glide. Ideally, skating should be effortless, graceful, and there should be a continuous flow. It's really the hardest thing for a skater to achieve this kind of flow. It's the real basis of skating. I'll try and show you what I mean.
When he was 11, the youngest of the family, John began to skate in earnest and every day.
My mother used to wake me up around 5:30, I guess, and I'd go to the ice rink and skate from 6 in the morning until about 8 or 8:30, and then dash off to school, and then after school I'd go back to the ice rink for maybe another 2 hours in the evening, and that was almost every day. We never missed. It was really the high point of my day, rather than school.
At 17, John left home to train at Richmond, near London. It wasn't going to be easy.
I came down, I got a job in a supermarket, a very small supermarket, not a big one like nowadays. And I put labels on and prices on, stacked shelves, and was on the till and did everything, and then eventually I got moved to the like the cut meats counter. That was the height of my promotion. I used to skate every morning from 6 until 12, and I would be at work, and I would work from 1 through to 6, and then it used to be, the shop would be open till 8:30, and so when I could, I would work the overtime because I needed the money. And I would go home, go to bed, and you know, do the same thing. I think, looking back on it, I often wonder how I did that part, but I did. I think just because I wanted to skate so much, and I wanted to work with the teacher I was working with so much, that I hardly even thought about it as being difficult. I just did it. It was funny.
So the devotion began to pay off, but there were still many struggles on the way, struggles that had nothing to do with hard work and long days.
I know John has found it difficult to skate the way he's wanted to for many years, but when he first started, Mr. Vickers of Birmingham was the man that taught him his style, and I've always said to him, well, you skate the way you want to. Very often when he hasn't won competition, you know, he said, oh, well, perhaps it's me. He's never blamed anyone else, and he said, I just can't skate any other way.
I use my hands. I never could see why they shouldn't come above waist level. And it just didn't make any sense to me why, you know, your hands should come only to there when, you know, they can go all the way up and they can do whatever you want them to. One teacher I had when I was quite young saying, no, John, you mustn't do that. It's not a movement for a man, and I couldn't see why. And it wasn't, I think I just took one arm up or something, and it just didn't make any sense to me at all why, you know, I shouldn't do it. So I did it. They'd been used to seeing only girls use their arms, and I suppose they thought that it looked strange on a boy.
John's style of skating would show up clearly now in this body spin that he's going to show us.
What I'm trying to show you is the difference between the first part of the spin and the second. In the first part, my foot will be turned up, my back will be hunched, my head will be down, and there'll be no line. Then I'm going to stretch my free foot, I'm going to stretch the leg and get a line, straighten my back, and hopefully the whole thing will shape up.
Watch John's body straighten into the shape or line that is the hallmark of his skating style. Now look as the back and head straighten, and then the hands and feet. And see how John has made the crouching body form into a line that he believes is pleasing to watch. And once more, up to speed.
Well, I hope you saw the difference. You know, jumping 2 feet higher is no good. If to do that, you have to do, you know, half an hour of preparation to get there. I mean, run, and then one great big jump doesn't mean a thing to me. I know some people like it, but it doesn't mean anything to me. So I'd rather do a program that was, does have the technical elements, the triple jumps and the very difficult turns and steps, but also uses the music, uses style, and uses the body as a whole. There have been lots of very great skaters in the past, one of whom was Donald Jackson. He was world champion about 10 years ago. He was noted for his high jumps and his extremely athletic style. What we're going to do is you're going to see a piece of Donald Jackson's world championship performance, and then I'm going to skate to the same piece of music, doing it the way I would like to do it now, using the whole body and trying to express the music.